Oh man, am I ever miffed. A little while ago, here in Little Rock, there was a group of people that came and they held a protest downtown. It was in a public area, and you know, they were peacefully assembling, but they were, you know, stomping on American flags and holding up signs that said, you know, thank God for dead troops, pray for more dead troops, thank God for IEDs, stuff like that. And I thought they were stupid then. And I think they're pretty stupid now. Because I found out that that group of people belongs to the Westboro Baptist Church out of Topeka, Kansas. They're led by a man named Fred Phelps. And if you're interested, you can find them at www.godhatesfags.com. www.godhatesfags.com. Oh yeah, you, more than anyone else, deserve this. You get the stupid buzzer! I can't get over that. I mean, seriously. How do you even register that on the internet? I mean, seriously, if you're trying to recruit people into your religion, and you talk to them about, like, you know, Jesus and tolerance and love, and they say, oh, that sounds great. What, do you have a website? www.godhatesfags.com. You kind of lose a little bit of your validity, you know what I mean? You know, what these people do is they travel around the country and they protest at funerals of fallen warfighters. These people put out a press release, and I quote, military funerals have become pagan orgies of idolatrous blasphemy, where they pray to the dunghill gods of Sodom and play taps to a fallen fool. Thank God for IEDs. Thank God for IEDs? They say that every single dead serviceman is punishment for Americans tolerating homosexuality. Okay. Okay. Every fallen soldier is a punishment from God. Thank God for IEDs. Be thankful none of you religious nutball Hitlerite cronies ever dishonored the memory of any of my fallen friends, because I swear to God, a judge would be the least of your worries if you ever dishonored any of my friends. Wow. Have I ever mentioned how good a nice burst of anger feels? I mean, it's cathartic. I mean, I'm going to be such a nice guy. I'm glad I got that out of my system. I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about Christianity. Now, I myself am not a very religious person, but I have extensively studied religion in college and in various other places. Fred Phelps, you consider yourself and your organization fundamentalist Christians. Well, considering you don't understand the fundamentals of Christianity, I find that very hard to believe. Christianity is a religion based on love, acceptance, and tolerance. When Jesus was confronted with an adversary and slapped, he turned the other cheek and presented it to his adversary for him to slap. When Jesus was being nailed to a cross, he looked out upon the crowd and said, God, please forgive them, for they know not what they do. God, Jesus, loves everyone, even gay people. Phelps, you're a retard! If anyone considers themselves religious, and yet does not hold proper rein of their tongue, they deceive themselves, and their religion is worthless. James chapter 1, verse 26. Look it up. What does that mean? It means if you go around calling yourself a Christian and saying that you're holier than thou, and yet condone violence, and you're happy about painful, violent death of soldiers, and you say that that's punishment for homosexuality, Jesus says you're an idiot. Let me explain something to you about the First Amendment. The First Amendment says that you have the right to peacefully assemble. You have the right to the freedom of speech. You have the right to freedom of press. You have the right to whatever religion. You can practice whatever religion you want. But what the First Amendment of the Constitution does not say is that you have the right to infringe on other people's rights to peacefully assemble and whatnot. Your right to swing your fist ends at my nose. Now, I'll explain what this means. If you're gathering at a funeral and you're protesting, even if you are in a public area like on a sidewalk or something, and you are a legal distance away and within your permit, the people at that funeral are gathering at a specific place and a specific time to participate in a religious ceremony. Whether or not the participants in this ceremony are religious or not, or if the entire group is religious or agnostic or atheist, it's still a ceremony protected by the First Amendment and your right to freedom of religion. And if you have a group of people that have to gather in a certain place in a certain time, and they are not free to just walk away because they are participating in this ceremony, and your freedom of speech is inciting violence and is hateful in nature, you are violating their rights to peacefully assemble. You are violating their rights to religion, and you are inviting and you are inhibiting their First Amendment rights. So, Fred Phelps, here's your lesson in constitutionality. That one's free. You're welcome. Anyway, so this Westboro Baptist Church, they protested the funeral of Lance Corporal Matthew Snyder, who was killed in Iraq. His father, Albert Snyder, sued these retards and won a $5 million judgment for pain and emotional grievance and whatnot. However, the Supreme Court of Washington State overruled this and said that they had the right to peacefully assemble and blah, 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 reversed the ruling, and then ordered Albert Snyder to pay $16,000 in restitution for the Westboro Baptist Church's legal fees. Albert Snyder, God bless him, said, no, I'm not paying them anything until the Supreme Court of the United States of America hears this. And luckily, the Supreme Court did agree to hear this, which I think they're going to hear later in, like, May or something. Hopefully, the Supreme Court will see it my way, because my way's right. I mean, that's just it. Period.